Hello viewers, Super GT here. Welcome back to yet another fine episode of meme making potential on Forza Horizon 4 multiplayer. So to kick things off, I'm driving the S1 Audi Quattro, and judging by those wings, this thing has infinite downforce. So I'm somehow flying through the air despite having infinite downforce. I should be rooted to the floor, and I've actually missed a checkpoint there. So we have to be sent back in time a little bit to go and actually do it properly. Now, things are about to get, well, should we just say PEGI 18? So if you're 17 or under, you probably need to click away right now, because I'm going to get mounted by a Nissan going over this ramp. He's loving the look of those wings, and he could not help but mount me from behind. So let's take a look at the instant replay here. So Nissan, he just loves that downforce. He wants a piece of the action. He mounts me, and well, he flies off into the distance. So that's just another episode of Blue Planet. Tune in next week for plenty more of the same. At the end of the race, with that massive lack of downforce, you can see my wings gone, missing checkpoints left, right and centre. And then as the race ends, it reappears. My wing just comes back out of nowhere. So next up, S1 road racing. So I've really just split the game up. There's three classes, A, S1, S2, that come up, and two kind of divisions, or four divisions, but really you need to break it down into road and into rally, or off-road. So, road racing here in the Viper, and what is this? We've got a massive thing on the side of this car, and I'm going to rub myself across the side of it. Super GT, are you trying to tell us something here? Is this some sort of subliminal messaging? Well, what do we have here? So I'm going to actually try to get away from that dank machine in my Dodge Viper. And yeah, this is the 2016 Viper. As I go flying into traffic, I'm clearly blind. As we come around here, this is confirmation of some DLC, I think, that's going to come into the game, or it seems to be already here, because someone's going to go flying through the air. Did you see that? That is confirmation of the aeroplane DLC. Absolute madness. Could not quite figure out what was going on. Look at that. Absolutely sublime stuff. Brilliant. So, confirmation of the aeroplane DLC. I didn't know aeroplanes were in the game, but obviously they are. Up into third position. The 16 Viper here performing very well. And all the cars you're going to see in this video that I'm using, I have tunes for. So if you want to use them, use the car and use the tune, then do follow me, F4H Super GT. The name is on the right hand side of the screen there. It might appear multiple times, and that guy's just going to fall off the bridge. Oh, brilliant stuff. The meme potential is so real right now. Up into second, up behind my teammate. So that's as good as a win almost. And we're going to come across the line. Second, and the team wins. Trying to escape with the penis wagon at the start here. He's not going to grind himself across me in this race. Let's have a look at how good this car is, if we can for a second. Get away from these people here. Plenty of ramming going on. Plenty of contact. I've just pushed the Subaru off. I've murdered him. Just look at this 5 seconds of madness here. I'm not even driving very well. I'm not driving very well at all. And I've just gone through immediately up into second from about 8th or something. Couldn't quite figure out how that happened. Everyone just drove wide and did silly stuff. And up the inside, nice move. He just didn't turn in really. And I think he's driving the 08 Viper. So perhaps the 16 Viper is the one to go for. This thing just produces so much grip. Of course it does have a big wang on the back. Big wang. So I'm clearly a big lover of the big wangs. As are some other people who have been mounting me during the course of this event so far. So into the hairpin here in Broadway, the little village in the south of the map, using the pathway. Luckily there's no pedestrians, otherwise they'd be dead. And we come up to a crossroad here. That could be interesting. Luckily for me, not this time around. And down the back straight into the braking zone. The car just so planted, no drama. Just really good grip. The car just handling everything you throw at it over the line for a victory. Good stuff indeed. Now this is Shadow Realm entry of the video, perhaps ever, best ever, you know. Well, I'll let you be the judge of this. Coming up here, my MG Metro, and some guy hits the rock, and I just slaughter him, push him wide, and he's gone. I've sent him. He has absolutely been sent to the Shadow Realm. He's so far into the Shadow Realm, but there's just absolutely no way out for him. We're going to move to a Lotus Exige race and a guy doing a dab. We can't lose to him. He's on the red team. I'm on the blue team. And if that guy doing a dab wins, then I might as well sell my copy of the game and sell my console. So the Lotus Exige S. The Lotus brand has always been a good brand in Forza in terms of handling. They quite simply work very well. As you'd expect, it is a Lotus. They are meant to be very light, very nimble and good at handling, and that is exactly how they are in the game. And this kind of carries over from many of the older titles, the Lotus Exige being a very good car. So this tune here is for A class, and the leader is actually the guy doing the dab. He's actually doing a dab right now in his car, which is why he's got so much speed down that back straight. But as a result of having so much speed, he's going to be lacking in the corners, which we're coming up to now. You can see him sliding wide. Teammate comes back for an attempt, just about managed to defend. Keep my second. As we come up to the final little sector here, up against the Porsche, I'm going to go around the outside, bit of contact into the turn. He has to brake. I brake a little bit, but a lot less. Up the inside, into the lead. The handling of this car is beautiful, with so much grip, really performing very well. And not a massive wing on this thing. You don't need so much downforce. That is testament to the ability of the Lotus. Just lightweight machinery at its finest. The British car on the British roads with the British driver. Oh, it doesn't get better than this. And yes, I'm drinking tea with the Queen. The Queen's actually in the passenger seat, and we're drinking tea together. How British can you get? So back to the car. Great car. Definitely recommend this for A class. Very much a road racer. As I say, you kind of have to split the game. Once the vote thing comes up, the division that you're going to be doing, or the type of racing that we're doing, like dirt or off-road or cross-country or street or road racing, you need to make that decision quickly. What kind of car do I need? So street and road, obviously you're going to drive a grippy car, which might mess you up in the free roam rush, which I'm not a massive fan of, if I'm honest. It doesn't always appeal to me, or never appeals to me really. At the end of the race, finishing first. But the free roam rush, I mean, it's a blast. But if you go for an all-out rear-wheel drive, powerful car, you might suffer when you have to go across country on the free roam rush. But anyway, moving on to an S1 race here in the Ford RS200. Beautiful car. And we're going to see if we can have a beautiful race, not a beautiful start, as that guy kind of doesn't really start. I'm going to push my teammate as I try to get through the checkpoint. So this is one of my go-to cars for S1 dirt racing or off-road, alongside the Audi Quattro that you saw at the start of the video that I got mounted upon, and the other car we'll see in just a moment, which is also a great car. So a couple of good cars for off-road. I'm going to slam it up the inside here, pushing my teammate out of the way. That's just typical Horizon driving really. I think you're meant to do that because everyone's doing it, so that's my reasoning there. Everyone's just pushing their teammates, so I think that's actually part of the game. It's integral to success in Horizon to push your teammates. It actually makes you faster. See there? You see? You push me a little bit, so he's actually going to gain speed as a result. Hashtag sarcasm, as quite a few people not quite understanding the sarcasm in the videos. But anyway, up the inside of the Subaru. Subaru is always going to be a great brand for off-road racing. You're going to slam around the outside. Great little piece of driving from this guy. Subaru, love the brand. Great off-road cars. I might have to try them out later on. So neck and neck going in here, and I'm getting slammed into the wall. To be fair though, it's actually pretty difficult to control your car in a really fine manner when you're going at such speed. We were going like 140 miles an hour there, over a jump, and it's not exactly easy to kind of give each other space. So I think the best thing to do is often don't go alongside people for too long. Just really pick your time to overtake, and then just get it done quickly and don't hang about side by side. Into turn 1, look at this, beautiful stuff. Nice slide through the apex of the turn. Both of us getting on the brakes, hitting the apex. Good stuff to see. I'm going to go for the overtake attempt this time. Again up the inside. Last time I messed it up, and he's given me the space this time, which is really cool driving. Kind of saw that I was on the inside, just let me kind of turn in and take the lead. Not that it matters too much to the overall result, because we're on the same team. So if I finish first and second, if I finish first, him second, or him first and me second, it doesn't change anything really, apart from bragging rights, I suppose. So coming up to the end of the race, looking at the map throughout the race, it's been really close. Like the top 5 have been very close indeed. So if for example me and this guy in second in the Subaru were to wipe each other out, we would have immediately lost quite a lot of positions. But crossing the line in first, so quite a good race there. And good respect shown throughout, and we easily smashed the result, nearly 3,000 points. So here is the other S1 car that I use for off-road. This thing is an absolute monster. It's the Gymkhana number 9 Ford, and normally this thing has really bad top end, so I did have to tune the top end a little bit. It can reach well over 160 miles an hour now. I think normally it reaches about 138 or something, which is really low, and it reaches 0 when you hit trees. But ultimately, once you tune this car up, it really is an absolute machine. Like, it really is so fast, so competitive, and as kind of a Gymkhana drifty kind of car, it does really well when you're driving off road, and especially in winter as we are now. So you do have to take the season into consideration when you're choosing your car as well. So sometimes if you're doing road racing, if you're in summer, you can really go for a rear-wheel drive, but if it's going to be winter, then you're really going to suffer. So you do have to take the season into consideration as well, as that is a big part of the way that the race will play out depending on the conditions. We can see here just how big a gap I can kind of pull back in this car. So going into that tree early on obviously did help, but it does set up the potential for a nice comeback. So I'm up into third now, with about a third of the race left to go. Coming over this crest, top 2 obviously involved in some sort of incident, perhaps some mating ritual once again. These trucks do seem to like to get on the back of other people and start humping away, and there was a ramp somewhere, so perhaps they did it on a ramp like it was in the Audi. So the guy in the lead, in the similar car, the Gymkhana car as well, is going to fly around his outside. So while they're busy mating for another episode of Planet Earth, I'm going to inherit the lead. And coming up to the end, just over this jump, lucky I didn't get mounted again there, we actually won the race. So that is kind of testament to the beauty and the skill of that car, the S1 Gymkhana Ford, really good car that. And again, tune on my storefront. So once again, as I did in the previous episode, busting out the S2 Ultima. I don't really have enough S2 cars. I did tune up a Zonda and an Aventador, but I just love the Ultima. This thing is an absolute beast. It really is a beast. It's hard to control. You do have to be very, very, let's say, sensitive on the throttle. If you just hammer it down, you probably will end up murdered by the car. So being careful is absolutely paramount when driving this thing. And we find ourselves in quite a cool situation here. We've got a blue teammate in the lead. I've got 3 red cars to kind of get past here, so a little red barrier in the middle of this race. And this is where I'm trying to kind of pick my way through carefully, so I could utilise the superior top end of this car just to fly past some of these guys. But you do risk getting pummeled into the next corner, so you do kind of have to pick your time and pick your opportunities. As this game isn't particularly clean, we kind of established that. So you do have to be very, very careful with the way that you overtake. You can also just do that and just push them wide. So on the one hand, be careful. On the other hand, don't be careful at all and just kill people, because that is a proven method and it does seem to work. This time around, don't quite go for the punt and actually get past him as he makes a little bit of a mistake. The 2 teammates are just fighting, the Aston Martin and the Corvette. I'm going to capitalise on that and just go through. There's no point in fighting your teammate. really. I just wonder if a lot of people are just kind of treating it as a free-for-all race rather than a team race, but on the whole you do see a lot of that, people just battering their teammates. In fact, I'd say people batter their teammates more than they do the opposition. Now weirdly, the leader just gave up about 2 metres before the finish line, so I inherit the race win, and we go again for a similar kind of looking race here. So off the line, the grip isn't great, but that's normal in rear-wheel drive. And I find myself in a very, very similar situation, so a bit of deja vu here actually. Up behind a group of 3 on the opposite team. So middle of the race now, lap 2. Up the inside of the Corvette, look at that superior speed. Gets a little bit messy if we're honest. And again, trying to find our way through past the Aston, and now it's the Porsche in the lead. They're going to make contact once again. I'm going to inherit the lead as a result. See there, the guy's just fighting a little bit too much, and I'm just going to slide my way through up into the lead, just hoping I don't get murdered here. Into turn 1, take quite an early entry, try to avoid the punt. We do get a bit of contact there, but it's okay. And we are away, and we can just complete this lap just to really see how you can really drive this car. Just be really careful on the brakes, and of course get close to the inside checkpoint to really maximise the corner. And we're beginning to pull away already. This car, just be really careful on the throttle and then just utilise that speed on the straight. You just gain like 200-300 feet on every straight because it is just that fast. You will lose a little bit on the corners, but again, if you're just careful, drive within yourself. Remember my advice from the previous video, drive within yourself and you'll be fine. Don't you worry. And across the line, beautiful little victory there, love that one. Good Ultima, treating me well. If you treat the Ultima well, it will treat you well. So here's some interesting anarchy, some antics here. So talking about teammates coming through here, Audi on the inside, and well, oh, it's gonna just force me wide into a tree. Should have seen it coming, should have backed out, but well, that's what happens sometimes. We lost by a long way that time around, and this is, well, maybe a good decision I made. You see the route there that the game gives you, but you can very quickly plan your own route in your head on the free-roam rush. So I turn around, decide to go this way around the lake, over the mountains, and then come through to win. So sometimes planning a quick route can save your life in free-roam rush. Now this is where I get sent back in time like 8 times in a row, so I missed a checkpoint. Okay, had to get sent back, no worries. And we're going to go again. It launches you into speed very quickly, and I'm going to hit the same tree, or almost, and miss the checkpoint again. And it's going to launch me again from even closer. I'm going to hit the tree again. So 2 hits on the tree, 3 times missing the checkpoint, and eventually we get through. So that was probably the awards for the worst driving of the year on Forza Horizon from me. Beautiful stuff. Or, well, in fact, the opposite of beautiful, whatever that is. And up the inside here, and this guy's just going to pummel me into a tree. I'm going to miss the checkpoint, get reset, and then, well, guess what? Yeah, hit the same tree again. Thanks very much. Get a penalty for that, 25 years penalty. So, well, not good times indeed, not good times at all. But ultimately, that does bring a close to another video on Forza Horizon 4. I do hope you enjoyed it. As always, guys, let me know your thoughts. I shall see you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.